In this episode, we're going to do an access control list demonstration. I'll show you how to do it, and we'll talk about the concepts along the way. In this activity, we'll observe how an access control list, also known as an ACL, can be used to prevent a ping from reaching hosts on a remote network. After removing the ACL from the configuration, the pings will work successfully. We'll be discussing verifying local connectivity and testing access control lists, and then removing that access control list, and we're going to repeat that test. Greetings to all my tech heads out there in the KevTechify nation, and if you're new here, welcome. This episode is part of my series on configuration examples for the CCNA. I'm Kevin here at KevTechify. Let's get this adventure started. Packet Tracer Lab 4.1.4 Access Control List Demonstration. Here I have our packet tracer open. On the left side, I have our work area. We have our topology. That's where we're going to do our configuration. On the right side, I have our instructions. On the very bottom right, I have the actual packet tracer activity window that opens up that has the instructions. In the upper right, the majority of my right side, I have the Word document with those same instructions. The reason I have my Word document is we have questions to answer. This will allow me to type my answers in and save them. We have our addressing table that lists all of our devices, the interfaces, and the IP addresses that are associated with them. And down to our instructions. Part 1, verify local connectivity and test access control list. Ping devices on the local network to verify connectivity. From the command prompt, ping PC. From the command prompt of PC1, ping PC2. I'm going to come over here to PC1, click on it, slide it up on my desktop tab. I'm going to go ahead and click on command prompt, and I'm going to go ahead and type in ping. And then I have to ping PC2. PC2's IP address 192.168.10.11. 192.168.10.11. Those pings work. On the step 1B, from the command prompt of PC1, ping PC3. Ping, and then our IP address is 192.168.11.10. 192.168.11.10. And I typed it wrong. Let's go ahead and correct it. I up arrowed once, left arrowed over, made the correction. And now I'm pinging PC3. First one timed out. Looks like it was probably an ARP lookup. By the time it did the ARP lookup, the ping request timed out, but all three worked. I'm just going to go ahead and repeat that command to make sure it works. Up arrow once and hit enter. All four successfully worked. That shows I have connectivity. Were the pings successful? Yes, they were. Step 2, ping devices on remote networks to test ACL functionality. From the command prompt on PC1, ping PC4. PC4's IP address 192.168.30.12. Ping 192.168.30.12. Coming back, 192.168.10.1, which should be our default gateway, says the destination host is unreachable. We are PC1 right here, and we are trying to ping PC4, which is over here. To get there, we have to go from PC1 to R1 to R2 to R3 to R4. But I'm getting a reply back from 192.168.10.1, which is my default gateway, which is right here, saying this device, R1, can't reach the destination, can't reach that host on that remote network. Step 2B, from the command prompt of PC1, ping the DNS server. Oops. Back to PC1. And we are going to ping, and then the IP address for our DNS server is 192.168.31.12. And it's coming back once again saying our default gateway is saying the destination is unreachable. So we're trying to ping from PC1 through our network down to the DNS server. Our default gateway right here is saying they can't reach the destination network. Did the pings fail? Well, yes, they did. Here it says a hint of use simulation mode or view the router configurations to investigate. But we're going to go ahead and view our router configurations. It was our R1 here, our default gateway for our network, was saying it couldn't reach it. So let's go ahead and take a look at it. I'm going to go ahead and click on PC1 here, slide this up, make it a little bit bigger right to left, click on CLI, type enable to get into privileged exec mode, and then do a show running. When I do the show running, I'm looking to see, is there something that would be stopping the traffic or something misconfigured? Here we have our interfaces. If we scroll up in our addressing table, we can see those are the correct IP addresses. But then we have here underneath serial 000, that's our WAN connection. We have access group 11 out. So to the outbound traffic on serial 001, we are applying access group or access list 11. If we continue with the show run, I'm going to hit spacebar again. We're going to see here that we have an access control list that is denying traffic from the 192.168.10 network. That's where PC1 is. And the wildcard mask here, we're going to match the first 3 octets, but not the last one. So we're going to deny any traffic here. And once again, we are access list 11. So that's a standard one. And all we do is look at the source IP address, where it's coming from, and we're going to deny it. Right here, this is denying the traffic that goes through there. Then our access control list for 11 says permit any. And then the third step here, which isn't listed, that is our implicit deny. First step in our list is we're going to deny any traffic from the network we're on. And if we look at it, there's a second network here that would be permitted to go out that interface. And then the second access control entry is permit anything. So we're going to block anything from our network. And then if there's any other traffic on our network, we're going to let it go through there. And what that means is this network here, PC3's network, will be allowed to go through, go out, be outbound traffic here on this serial interface. We're going to remove the ACL and repeat the tests. Use the show command to investigate the ACLs. So the command they would like us to use here is show space access dash list and then a question mark. And you can see what we're looking for is either a number of 1 to 199 or the word, the name of our ACL. If you know the ACL name or number, you can filter or show that. However, our one only has one ACL, therefore the show access list command will suffice. Because we only have one access control list on there, we don't have to put a number, so we can just hit enter at this point and it will list it out. Here we have a standard IP access list named number 11, and we have our 2 statements. We're going to deny any traffic from the .10 network with a wildcard of 000255, and then we're going to permit anything else to go through. And of course, the last step is the implicit deny. For an ACL to impact a router, it must be applied to the interface. In this scenario, ACL is used to filter traffic exiting an interface. Therefore, all traffic leaving the specified interface of R1 will be inspected against ACL 11. So all traffic going out this interface right here will be inspected for and compared to access control list 11, whether it originated on the .10 network or it originated on the .11 network. Although you can view IP information with the show IP interface command, it may be more efficient to use the show run command. To obtain a complete list of interfaces that the ACL may be applied to and the list all the ACLs that are configured, use the following show command. Okay, we'll go back to R1, and then we'll enter in the show command. We'll do a show run, but then we are filter to include any line that has the word interfaces, and then I put the pipe sign in there without a space, so it's to include any line that has the word interfaces or access. And right here we can see we are applied to an interface. And actually, let's go ahead and just change that show run command one more time. Instead of saying interfaces, drop the S at the end so it says interface and then access. Then it lists out the interfaces, and it'll list out any access control lists that are associated with it, and then it lists out our actual access control lists. The second pipe symbol creates the OR condition. To which interface and in what direction is the ACL applied? So which interface and which direction is that ACL applied? If we look here, this is the ACL, this is the number of the ACL, but then this is the ACL where we're applying it. So it's on interface serial 000, and it's applied in the out direction. So interface serial 0/0/0 to outbound traffic. Remove access control list 11 from the configuration. You can remove ACLs from the configuration by issuing the no access list and then the number of that access list command. When used without arguments, deletes all ACLs configured on there. So if we wanted to remove all ACLs on our device, we could say no access list and not put a number there. It would remove all of them. If we wanted to remove just one, we'd put the number in there. Okay, step 2A, under the serial 00 interface. So let's go ahead and get into the serial 00 interface, config T, then interface serial 0/0/0. Remove access list 11, which was previously applied to an interface as an outgoing filter. Now to remove the specific one, we can go ahead and type in no space IP space access dash group and then the number 11 in the direction it was. It is the opposite of this exact statement. When we did our show run up here, to include anything that had interface or access, you just put the word no in front of this and it will remove it. So I go ahead, no space IP space access dash group space 11 space out. It should remove it. Then we're going to remove the access list from global configuration. So what we just did now is we removed the access list from the interface, and then next step is we're going to actually delete that access list. We need to be into global configuration mode. And then from here, we go and type no space access dash list and then 11. Once again, we only have one, so we don't have to specify a number, but it's good practice just to delete the one you want because you may accidentally delete everything. So no space access dash list space 11 removes that. With that removed, Now PC1 should be able to ping PC4. I'm going to go ahead and minimize R1 window, open up PC1 again. We're going to go ahead and type ping space, and we're going to go to PC4. Scrolling back up, PC4 has 192.168.30.12. 192.168.30.12. Hopefully the first one is just an ARP lookup. It looks like it was just an ARP lookup. Looking good. I'm going to repeat it. Up arrow, enter. That will verify that all 4 work. And then the last thing we have to do is ping our DNS server. Once again, is 192.168.31.12. Hopefully it has to do another ARP lookup or 2. Fail the first ping. Next 3 will work. Go ahead and repeat that command just to make sure all 4 will work. That completes our lab. That was Packet Tracer Lab 4.1.4 Access Control List Demonstration. It was my pleasure to provide you with this wonderful episode on configuration examples. If you like this episode and you got value out of it, please click that like button, give a 5-star rating, leave a comment. This all helps me bring you more great content. Please take a minute to subscribe to my channel. All my socials and contact information are on my website, KevTechify.com. There you can find out how to get all these episodes in video and podcast form. Thank you so much for watching this episode of my series on practical configuration examples for the CCNA. I've created 4 wonderful playlists for you on the CCNA. These episodes, I go through all the concepts that Cisco calls out for the CCNA. Once again, I'm Kevin. This is KevTechify. I'll see you next time for another great adventure.